What's up, folks? I'm back once again to share knowledge, to share inspiration, to maybe even wake some people up. Sometimes we have to be waking up. Sometimes we have to be reminded of the greatness that we have in us. You see, because as we chase things through life, we tend to run further and further and further away from our power. And one thing I know is that there's no refund on our time. You know, I believe everything happens for a reason. I believe people come into our lives for a reason. I believe that the omens have always been around us, always been in our life, but we choose to ignore them. We choose to ignore the very blessings that are sent our way and bestowed upon us. We get so caught up in the mundane, the trivial, and we forget about the power inside of us. Now, if you've heard my videos the last few days, you can tell there's something different there. There's something different in the message that I'm putting out now as I prepare to go on television nationwide. As I prepare to go on radio nationwide. And as I prepare to distinguish my purpose from what it is I do to create income. Q, what's going on, my brother? The dunk gods are in the house. What's up, Quincy? What's up, Cornelia? What's up, Alicia? I feel revitalized, and I truly understand my effect on people, the financial gifts that I have, but even deeper than that, I understand the most important gift that I believe that we all have in this world, and that's to help lift up another, to help not just inspire, but show the next person how to live a great and prosperous life. Now, I'm not leading this with money, because the money's just the background. That's the remnants that happen from when you really understand what I'm talking about. And when you really understand what I'm talking about, I'm talking about tapping into what I call the God within. Now, I've led groups for a long, long time, and I just see my angel pop up on the side over there. I've led groups of people for a long, long time. And I've actually led little funds that we've started out together with $100 and turned it into $1,000 and turned it into $10,000 and did some things, but people want to come in, they want to get out, they want to take their money and run, but that's cool. But at this point right now, there's something bigger, there's something deeper, there's something more real, there's another sense of fulfillment in my life, and I'm really, really, really at peace, y'all. I'm at peace because I understand who I am, I understand my calling, and I'm going forward with my gift. I've been gathering information today. We've set up the new company, and I've been gathering information about television time. I'm about to buy air, y'all. I'm going to buy air. I see you, Q. What's going on, my man? I see you. I see you. Dun God's in the house. That's right. That's right. I have something inside of me, just like every one of you have inside of you. And what I want to do today is I want to start sharing some affirmations that I've used that has taken me from broke, busted, and disgusted to putting me in a position where I could live. See, this is what a lot of people, when they hear my story, Angel, and I talk about Mr. Schwab, what they don't understand is that for me to meet this man, I had to be in position. So I actually lived in an area where a billionaire hung out, right? Because we met in Office Depot in Dr. Phillips, Florida, right? So I've learned how to put myself in a position to allow great things to happen, for me to tap into this God power inside of me. So I'm going to share a couple of things that I've tapped into that have really made a difference in this world. And I believe that I'm talented. I see some other talented people here. My man Quincy Warren out there in, I think, North Carolina. Very, very, very talented brother. Right? See Cornelia out there, so talented. See Angel out there, so talented. I don't know Alicia. Never really spoke to her or anything, but I'm sure it's there. We all have gifts. I just don't know what it is yet. Right? But I want to talk about talent, because this gift that I have, the talent, it also led to me going broke. You see, I'm going to keep it real 100% with you. My talent led to me going broke. Listen to me, y'all. Because I knew that I could turn it on when I want, I started to walk away from the things that got me there. The work ethic. The work ethic is what allowed me to negotiate 24 multifamily houses within the first 2 years of my real estate. Work ethic. Now, yeah, I'm talented. Yeah, I can talk. Yeah, I know how to negotiate. Yeah, I was pulling cash out of all of the buildings, at least 20 grand. But it was not my talent that got me there. It was my work ethic that led the way. You see, because talent can get us to the door, Q. You see, Q, talent to help us knock on the door. It'll get us there. But once that door is open, it's the work ethic. It's the persistence that'll keep us there. Now, I lost everything being in one of the richest areas because I got lazy. What's up, sunshine? I got lazy. And my question is, how many of us, even though we have this God-given divine power, how many of us are lazy? Or we've gotten lazy? Well, I believe that since the beginning of time that it's been happening to man. And I'm going to read this with you, and I'm going to share some things, because I know that warriors get weary. I know that lions and black lionesses get tired. But check this out. I'm going to share with you the affirmations that I've used when I have fallen on my journey. Even after I was introduced to my blessing, still wasn't doing it, you see, because that's something in our subconscious. And there's certain things that we have to do every single day. And when you forget it, and the more time that goes by, and the more time that goes by, you forget it more. You forget it more. And so without doing these affirmations, you fall back into the land of the ego. And when I tell you that ego and foolish pride are the killers of your success, it was the killers of my success. So let's read this, what it says here. It says, nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Because what happens if your talent is directly related to, let's say, athletic ability, like our man Q from the dunk guards, athletic ability, he's a beast. He's a beast out there slam dunking all over the place, dunk guards, right? You see, my talent wasn't connected to athletic ability like him. My talent was connected to my brain power. I've never been the guy to swing the hammer, but I've been the guy to show someone else how to swing the hammer. Right? Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common. You hear me, Angel? Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. And as I look out over the landscape of my life, I've seen it over and over, and you've seen it, Q. You've seen it, Alicia. You've seen it, Mary. You've seen it, Cornelia, Angel. You've seen this. You know it to be true. How many talented people do we know? How many educated derelicts, Q, are sitting right up there in the penitentiary? Gifted. Know the law books better than some lawyers. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Now this is going to be up here on my window now. And I will be reciting it every single day. Because I'm going to tell you this. Even over the course of the last few months, I haven't been doing everything that I should. First to admit it. You see, I'm on a different quest, on a different level than a lot of people out there. Like, I know that I should have been on radio again by now. I know I should be on television worldwide by now. Why was I not doing it? I shared this conversation. I shared this with a young lady earlier today. And when I tell you guys I'm on a different vibe right now, come on, I'm on a different vibe right now. All I want to do is spread love. All I want to do is be Love Jones again. Just like when I was in the military, just like when I was stationed in Okinawa, I was known as Love Jones. I'm going to share this story. In my life, I've been blessed. Q, check it out. In my life, I've been blessed to be with some very beautiful women and some very smart women, very educated women, right? And very beautiful women. How about that, right? But I've been with women that other guys, Q, would be like, damn. But what they didn't know, you see, they saw the outside. Right, Q? They saw the outside. They saw the talent in that person, right? What they didn't know was that that person hadn't discovered the God in them that brings understanding to the power that we have. So check it out. Here's the story. I'm with this young lady for years and years and years. As I'm going up the ladder, I'm bringing her with me. I'm bringing her to seminars that cost $5,000 and $10,000 with me, paying for my way and paying for hers. I say to myself that even if we're not together, I want you to be free. I want you to know what I know so that you're never dependent upon me. How many men do that, Q? So everywhere I go, she's with me. Everywhere I go, she's with me. Now, this young lady actually happens to have received her degree from one of the most prestigious colleges where I live. She's happened to have graduated magna cum laude. When it comes to brains, she was sharp, y'all. She was sharp. When it came to beauty, she was sharp, y'all. She was sharp. But once again, I call that talent, right? Talent. Your beauty, your looks, right? Your beauty, your brains and things that can help you get talent. She's talented. He's talented. It's not the only talent, but that's a form of talent. So, she was so accustomed to getting by on her talent. Because there wasn't a man who probably wouldn't have her because of her talent. Now, as time progressed, we came to a point where we knew that it was going to happen. There was going to be a separation. So now here she is, this woman with all this talent. I basically groomed her. I put her on radio in front of over 1 million people in my hometown. I put her in a position to build a following. And once again, remember, talent alone. Nothing in this world can take the place of persistent talent or not. So I put her in a position to have a following of women, of people who adore her. She moved from Connecticut to Florida. Now we're living in, hey Rikish, thanks for coming in. Hi, I see you there. We moved from Connecticut to Dr. Phillips, Florida. And we were going along. Long story short, I followed up with her months after our breakup, just checking in to see that she was doing the things that had become a habit because of the persistence that I bring to the table. So I followed to see what she was doing because I just knew that she probably went back to get on radio. She probably went to get on TV. That's what I taught her to do. To my surprise and dismay, I found out that she was doing none of the things that she learned to do. Everything from the entrepreneurial world that I shared with her, she let it go. Now remember, she's got talent. She's smart as a whip, magna cum laude, Sacred Heart University, state of Connecticut. Magna cum laude. I said to her when I reached back out, "What are you doing?" She says, "Well, I'm working at a job for this company that does fulfillment for entrepreneurs around the world. Puts them on television, does these things. And I'm just here," she says, "I'm just here so that I can figure it out." Because see, I taught her the closeout business. And now it was starting to come together when she was seeing these other business owners who had infomercials on television. Well, I showed her how to do that too. Well, who had, were on radio. I showed her how to do that too. But that was the first time. And then maybe about a good 6 months later, we spoke again. And I found out that she was in the same position now. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. So I said to her, why aren't you doing the things that you should be doing? Why aren't you walking in your purpose? Smart girl, magna cum laude. She says to me, I don't know. Once again, I'm talking about the God-given, the God-inspired power that we all possess. I'm talking the God in me, the God in you. She had all the information. She had the following. She had the source. She had the radio. She had TV. One of the chief people that sold media was my best friend. She would give us infomercial time, commercial time. So she had everything, and she had the talent. So when I said to her, Stephanie, why are you not doing the things that you know how to do to propel you into greatness, to let you live in the prosperity, to give you the money that you want so that you can do the good deeds that you want to do in this world? And her answer to me still sends, I used to get mad at it. And she would say, I don't know. Well, to me, Rakesh, I don't know is not good enough. It's not good enough for me. So I made her dig deeper. No, we're gonna figure this out together. Now we're not even in a relationship no more, but I care for people. You want to see someone that you know on an intimate level do well, even if it's not with me. She says, I don't know why I won't do what I'm supposed to do. Now, we had these affirmations that we would say all the time because we knew that we had to, in order to get to where we wanted to do, we had to trick our subconscious mind. We knew that we had to put our subconscious mind in a position that it wouldn't play the sentry anymore and always call out, danger, danger, warning, warning, Will Robinson. No, we didn't want our mind to do that anymore. I didn't want my mind to do it. I didn't want my mind to alert me and make me turn away from opportunities that could take me to where I've been because it was dragging me out of my comfort zone. So when I dug deeper and I said, no, we're going to figure this out, she says to me, I don't know. She said, why I won't do what I'm supposed to do. And how many of us have gone through that where we won't do what we know we're supposed to do that will make us, take us to the place that we want to be, raise our self-image. So I put the question to her like this. I said, okay, Stephanie, if you did know, what would you say? Once again, I had to try to trick her subconscious mind because it wouldn't let her go. It wouldn't let her grow. It wouldn't let her think. It wouldn't let her tap into her power. It wouldn't let her look at that woman in the mirror because of some other things that we're going to talk about in a minute. So I finally said one more time, listen, I'm not letting you off the hook. If you did know, because I don't know is unacceptable to me. I don't know should be unacceptable to you. And I said to her, so if you did know why you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, what would your answer be? And she said to me this, and it broke my heart, and it set up the stage for where I'm going with my life now. Because I know that the same thing that was going through her mind has went through my mind. And I know that it's gone through multiple hundreds and thousands thousands and millions of people's minds, and that's why we don't go. That's why we don't grow. That's why we don't get to where we need to get to where we want to be, to this heaven state. She said to me, she said, Cecil, because of mistakes that I've made in the past, because of fear of what other people think, fear of other people's opinions, I can no longer trust the decisions that I make. Now, when she said this, remember, this girl's got talent. She's got talent. To hear someone so young, so beautiful, so educated, tell me on the phone that she doesn't trust in herself. She doesn't trust the decisions that she makes because she's erred, because she's missed the mark. And she started to beat herself up. She beat herself up over the mistakes that she's made. I've beat myself up over the mistakes that I've made. You've beat yourself up over the mistakes that you've made. And many of us have gotten to the point where we don't trust our own decisions. And because we don't trust our own decisions, we feel that we are incapable of doing the right thing. We feel that we're incapable. We feel that if we have a choice, that it might not be the right one. So what we're doing, Lynette, what we're doing, Aretha, what we're doing, Laura, what we're doing, Mitch, is we're giving our power away. We're giving our power to something outside of us. We're giving our power away to this God in the sky instead of the God within. Because of the mistakes, because of the adversity that we've been through, because of the second guessing, because of what other people say, because of looking like a fool. And no one wants to do that. And I'm going to speak for myself right now because I've done the same thing. And because I've made decisions that I thought was wrong, that I thought was a failure, I said, instead of trusting me, I'm going to trust the God in the sky. Even though growing up the way that I grew up in a Christian household, Luke 17:21 says that the kingdom of heaven is within you. So what happens now when I believe in this God in the sky theory? I don't have to ever worry about losing again. I don't have to ever worry about not making a mistake again. I don't ever have to worry about being responsible for my own actions. I can blame it on the devil. How easy is that? How easy is it to look away and not look in the mirror and know that you're responsible for every single thing that happens inside of you? There's a saying that says, so much is a man worth as he esteems himself. There's another saying that says, know yourself, know thyself. What I'm bringing to the table on a nationwide, global basis, I'm coming back, y'all. I'm coming on television. You're going to see me on infomercials. You're going to see me hear me on radio. And what I'm bringing to the world is a remembrance of who you are. A remembrance of the God in you. The power in you, the infinite source, the infinite life that's in you, that's waiting on you to take back the responsibility of your life and to stop blaming it on the devil, to stop blaming it on anyone else, to stop blaming it on circumstances, to stop blaming it on Donald Trump, to stop blaming it on the welfare system, to stop blaming it on this, and stop blaming it on that, and to take responsibility and decide to make a choice. You see, ladies and gentlemen, you can't even decide. There's no way to be successful without you making a choice. And you've given away that choice when you give it up to a devil, when you give it up to somebody else, when you give it up to your husband, when you give it up to your wife, when you give it up to anyone that you think has done something to hurt you. I did the same thing when I gave the power to my mother. I didn't have to be responsible for my life anymore. Do you understand that when you do this, you've given away your responsibility? And I'm telling you that there's some things that these theologians are not telling you. And there's some things that these theologians are not revealing to you. What's the cause? What is the cause of us not wanting to make a decision? What's the cause of us feeling better that you can say that it's the devil who tempted me? Oh, the devil's got his foot on me. Oh, the devil's chasing me. Do you know that you're doing a whole lot of different things by saying that? You see, guys, we've forgotten. We've forgotten that. Oh, I wish I even had a Bible in front of me. I would run you through some verbiage. Oh my God. You see, because these aren't the words of Cecil Jones, and there's many people out there that believe in many different religions, but it's the Christian that I'm talking to. It's the Christian, and I don't know how to say it, and I don't know. I try my best not to deliver it in a manner that demeans anyone. I try my best to show love with it, but there's something about the person that doesn't give themselves credit, that doesn't know thyself. It says it in the Bible, to know thyself. And if you don't know thyself, you can never know the God inside of you. So what do we do? What did I do? What did I do? For years and years, I took what Mama told me. I took what Mama Jones told me, and I took it for word without doing my research, without seeking so I could find, without knocking so that the door can be opened to me. And when I did that, when you blame the devil, and I'm here to tell you that I blamed the devil for many, many, many years. And all it did was keep me stuck. And it gave me justification for not being a responsible man, for not being that man who was a kingdom citizen, for not being that man who was an heir and joint heir, for not walking in my power. Because when you won't make a decision, I don't care what book you read. You can read Think and Grow Rich. It will tell you the very first thing that you have to do is you have to have a burning desire. You have to decide who you're going to be. And you won't decide when you're so easy to take the power away from you and hand it off to someone else. Hand it off to a figment of your imagination that's not even real. I'm here. What is your message? He said, what are you trying to say? I'm trying to say that there's a God within you that is power. I'm trying to say that the I am is you because the God is inside of you. But we forgot. Javon, we forgot. Olivia, we forgot. And it's not our fault. It's what you've been brainwashed to believe. I'm going on television, guys. I'm bringing this on television. I've inspired so many people by teaching this, by raising their self-awareness of the power, who they are. Who they are. You won't even... Let me tell you, I'm not one of these guys that's out here bashing Christians. I'm not a Christian, but I understand the Christ concept. I understand the Christ consciousness. Ladies and gentlemen, I can no longer teach my children, well, they're not little anymore, but I could teach my children about to hand off their power to a God in the sky. And let me say this for clarity, because somebody's going to say this, or somebody's going to think this. Oh, he doesn't believe in God. He's the devil. And you're absolutely wrong. I believe in the God within. Not the God outside, but the God within. And for the protagonist of what I'm saying, I can show it to you in your book. Over and over again. It's everywhere. I believe that my ministry is going to flourish. I know it's going to flourish. The word keeps telling me. The voice keeps saying, go out. I'm here to say that when you decide to do something, when you decide to be more, when you decide to have more, when you decide to do more, you're going to open up your mind into the divine guidance of the divine universal mind. I am of the belief that there's only one power, one source of infinite wisdom. And if you cooperate with it instead of going against the grain, everything that you want, everything that you wish, everything that you pray for, everything that you desire will come to life. Your heaven will be here on earth. I don't subscribe. And I'm just telling you guys what works for me. I'm not bashing anyone else. I'm saying I've tried it. I'm saying I've subscribed to the philosophy of original sin, and that doesn't work for me anymore. I'm telling you that I've subscribed to this story of this mythical character that's just here to be on the left side and then this one on the right side, and I've understood the power that it's all me. This has been a progression through my life because unlike a lot of people out there that do the church thing but have never really read that Bible, read that book. And here, let me tell you this, because there are bashers of Christianity out there, and I'm not one of them. I'm here for love. This is Love Jones. I don't care your color. I don't care your religion. I don't care your spirituality. I want to see love. My religion then is love. That's my religion, love. And my grandmother used to say, if it acts like a duck, and it looks like a duck, and it quacks like a duck, then inevitably, it's dark. Here's some quotes that I just want to pull out. And I heard it said that you climb high, you climb far, your goal is in the sky. Your aim is the star. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better, wiser and wiser, stronger and stronger. And I also heard it said from a private guy, I heard it said that positive thinking leads to positive actions and positive results. And I heard this guy say that any kind of thinking that does not lead to positive action and positive results is not positive thinking. So that means to me, right? To me, that you can't holler. You can't sit up there asking God and praying for what you want and turn right around and give credit and give honorable mention to this devil. When you know the laws. What I'd like to do right now is share in some of the affirmations. I want to share some affirmations that I say daily that have changed my life. You see, remember, this is about your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is like this big camcorder. And it's just recording and everything. And it's listening to everything that everyone has said. And 99% of the times, the very things that you think are not your thoughts. It's what's been programmed into you by mom and dad and cousin and uncle and pastor and bishop and all these other people. This is why I believe that it's why I believe the good book says to ask and knock and all these good things and it shall be given to you. Now, I think Javon and I had a conversation this morning. And once again, let me just say this. I'm not here. There's a lot of guys out there that are bashing Christianity. And as I spoke to Javon, we had a powerful conversation this morning. And it just shocked me that this young lady is so wise. But what I said to her is I said, I'm not a Christianity basher because that's what I grew up on, right? I grew up on that. So whenever I've been in turmoil and I've been in conflict with myself, it was that book that has led me and guided me. So I'm not one of these guys out here bashing that. Just want everybody to know my position. There's other guys that are doing some other stuff. That's not me. I'm Love Jones. Remember that. This is what let me tell you how I view the Bible. I don't view it as this theological book that most people do. I view it more of as a psychological book that tells a story about me. Let me go deeper. I believe that anything in that book that I read, that I can pluck out that person's name and put my name in it, and I believe that it's me. Why do I think that? Because I've been told and I know that God is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. I also understand that He's waiting on us to realize. Hold on. He's waiting on us to realize the God gift inside of us, that He's inside of us, right? Now, let me tell you my concept, because I've never even shared this before. My concept of the Christ consciousness. I don't believe that Jesus Christ is the only begotten Son of God the Father. I don't believe that. Nowhere in the Bible did He say, well, I'm His only relative. I believe that what He was trying to say is that the same thing that I have in me, the same way that I understand the God consciousness, you have it in you. He actually said it. Because He said that you too will do greater things. You'll do things like this, even greater. Even greater. And when I look at certain scriptures, I see them differently. I see them differently when I go through the book of Psalms. When I look at Psalms 23, I see the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I know he leads me through some places. I know he leads me through some valleys of shadows of death, and I will fear no evil because thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. I know that. But just think about this for 1 minute. Think about he's telling us something. Think about the people who are benefiting off of your lack of understanding. Think of the times that you've had questions about God and someone said, don't question God. Sometimes they told you that God is not the author of confusion, and they're right. God's not. I've challenged theologians. I've said, how can you tell me that there's many mysteries in God when what I read over here says ask? What I read over here says knock. What I read over here says seek. And you will find. Not many mysteries. Not many mysteries. You see, we don't want to believe that. I'm going to say me. I'm not going to say we. I need to say me. Here's the thing. I'm not saying there's no God. I'm not even saying I don't believe in Jesus. I'm saying that I figured it out. I'm saying that when that Jesus himself, based off of what you've read, has never ever said, I'm somebody else and I'm royalty and you're a servant. When he prayed, when he brought us together, he said, our Father. I believe that he understood so much who he was, and he wanted the world to know that you are heirs and joint heirs just like me. I'm not separate from you. I'm not the only relative here. You're an heir and a joint heir in the same way that the Father is in me and I in he. He's giving you the answers. He's giving you the answers. But when it starts to benefit other people, when my ignorance benefits other people, and I'm seeking truth, all I want is truth. All I want is truth. And what I can say without naming names is I can count pastors that I know personally that behind the closed doors we've had this conversation. And they know what I know to be true also. I'll leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. This is what I know about the God within me. This is what I know about the truth about me. This is even what I know about the truth about you. See, you just don't know it yet. Hasn't come back to your memory. But I believe if you keep listening, there's going to be some more awakenings. And here's my thing. If believing in my problem, I don't have a problem. My viewpoint is not that there's no God. My viewpoint is even that I'm not trying to say there's no Christ. I'm here to say that to me, when I was praying to the God in the sky, it wasn't working. When I discovered that the God is in me, when I discovered the infinite power power inside of me, it started to raise my self-esteem. It started to raise the self-image of who I am. Who I am. And when you can recognize when you can say who you am, I know that's funny, right? But when you yourself can say who I am, the same power that says I am that I am, or the same power that says that I am Jesus, is the same power that you have from the God within when I say I am Cecil Jones. And there's no distinction. There's no one that can make me do anything better. Guys, let me tell you something. I don't want to go back to the way that I used to think, because it kept me worrying. It kept me in pain. It kept me stressed out. It kept me hating. It kept me lost. And I don't want to go back there. Do you understand? I don't want to go back there. So I don't want to hear about original sin. I don't want to play that anymore. I don't want to hear about a devil, because I don't want to go back there anymore. Because the very fact of you concentrating on what's negative, the very fact that you're concentrating on what you perceive to be evil, the very fact that you're concentrating on what you perceive to be fear, when you understand the universal laws now, you know that it brings it back into your life. 7-fold, 10-fold, 100-fold. So what you have to understand is the power of life and death in your tongue. And you have to understand that you're orchestrating this movie called your life. You're orchestrating this movie called your life by the words that you continue to hold on to. This is the truth about you. Aretha, this is the truth about you. The truth about you, your divine self, is that the God in you gives you the strength to stop dwelling on the negative things, right? This is what's going to set you free, like it set me free from the guilt complex that you might have, from the guilt complex that I had with my mama. And it will start bringing good desires of our heart into the life right here, right now. So you better learn how to forgive yourself, how to forget about your past mistakes. This is not yesterday. This is today. This is the power of now. God operates in the power of now. The reason we've forgotten about the God gift, people are even afraid to say it. They're afraid to say, I am God. You're afraid to say, how could you not be what you come from? How can a pit bull have pit bull babies and you not say those are little pit bulls? Aren't you afraid of subscribing to this God that is mad at you? That's angry when you do something? That's going to burn you when you do something wrong, when you miss the mark? Forget original sin, it's missing the mark. It's an error in your ways. But the things, the very words that sin is sin, sin, that reflects badness, that reflects guilt, that reflects fear in you. I just don't subscribe to that God. Now listen, folks, if that's the God that you want to subscribe to, keep doing it. But I'm done with that. I want you to know that there's an all-loving God inside of you who doesn't get mad or holds a book in one hand and a lever in another hand, and when you don't say or do the right thing, he pulls the lever and you're gone to hell. Huh? You see, when you understand the power inside of you, when you understand the gift that you have, when you understand it, you create your heaven because you're living in love, happiness and joy, success and prosperity and money. And you can have lots and lots of money. You see, segueing onto money, so many times we have people who are ashamed of having money. We have people who say, well, you can't have all that money because it means that somebody else has less money, and that's not true. You choose to have less. You choose to not do. I look at God as a God of abundance, and I look at this ocean of success and water, right? I look at this ocean, and I say, this God who loves me so much within says, go to the water, go to the ocean, and fill up your cup as you may, as you wish, as you desire. Now, some of us are going with a teaspoon. Some of us are going with a tablespoon. Some of us are going with a 4-ounce glass. I'm coming with 1,800 dump trucks because I want it. It's mine. It's. The problem is that the reason that folks can't recognize the God within, because now we'd have to forgive ourselves. Now, we'd have to take responsibility. Now, we have to make decisions and can't turn around and blame it on someone else. What do you want? Well, I decided to be responsible for my life. I decided that I will forgive myself and I will forgive my guilt. Alicia, check this out. You ever notice when you have low self-esteem, when you're sad, when you're mad, when you think that you've sinned, you believe that God is mad at you based off of your own internal feelings. But if you're happy, if you're prosperous, if you're full of love and high self-esteem and you have a high self-image of you, so that means you have a high self-image of the God in you. There's no way around that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. When you know you, this is why I believe the Bible says the kingdom of heaven is within, and it says to also to know thyself. If even the Christ said that I am in he and he is in me, what do you take that to mean? For so many years, I've never put that together to understand that if I'm heirs and joint heirs, right? If I'm a part of this consciousness, if I'm this king's kid, like, why wouldn't it apply to me? Why do we think that it's just one golden child? That God just loved one person more than everybody else in the world? It doesn't make sense. I believe that the Christ consciousness was here to remind you of your power. I believe that the coming of Christ is the remembrance of our power. I believe that it's all about the God within. Now, who argues with me? Like the person, I don't want to believe it's the God within. Huh? So Luke 17 and 21 is lying. It makes you take responsibility. It forces you to remember. Right? Cornelia, we're going to say, well, like, what can a naysayer say to that? And once again, if it comes to that point, I'm just telling you, I know this Bible pretty well because it was forced upon me, and I thank God for it now, because all things really do work together for the good. And if I would have kept holding on to the hurt, and if I would have kept holding on to the pain of the things that my mother did to me, I could never understand the God in me. And it forces me to say, well, I can't do this. I messed up. I must be a bad kid. She should have flushed me down the toilet, so I can't make decisions. The things that I do are wrong, so let me take the power. Take it.
I've learned to cancel the guilt in my mind, and I look to the God in me for health. I look for the God in me for happiness, for love, for success, and for prosperity. And the people that I know that are in my circle on a different level, we all know the same thing. You see, but they've even went far enough to tell you that this Illuminati stuff is worshiping the devil. They don't want you to know the truth. Now, what I want to say, I'm going to say this. This is about what I believe, and I shared this with a young lady this morning. Absolutely. I see you, Javon. No respect to persons. It's not going to just do this to one. Come on now. Come on now. These theologians have written you out the Bible. The Bible is about you and your power. Let me tell you something. It's leather and it's paper and it's not meant to be taken. Here's what I think about rich and poor people. Because everybody wants to know how to get it. And even in the book, in other books, it says that God will, if seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Seek ye first understanding of yourself, Javon. Seek ye first the God within you, Javon. Because when you seek the God inside of you, Javon, why wouldn't everything else be added? What are these things? Are these things, could it be that they're the desire of your heart? Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all its righteousness. The power that you have inside of you can be used for good, and it could be used for bad. Your choice. But this book that we followed our life has said to seek it first in its righteousness. So you have to seek to do good with this power. Okay, so if this was when I was worshiping a God in the sky, as opposed to the God in me that was instructed to me in this book, that has been changed around, that has so many different versions that it'll make your head spin. Once again, I'm telling you what's taking me from one level to the next. And as always, I want to hear from you. If you don't believe, I'd love to hear from you. If you believe, I'd love to hear your story. Because all I'm teaching in this ministry is to know thyself. It's to know that God is within, not up in the sky. I teach that when you know the God within, that you recognize and acknowledge the power and the presence of God in you. I'm excited about the love of God within me. I'm excited about the mind of God within me. It's done something to me. Can you feel it? I'm excited about that God has buried these infinite treasures within my being, within my mind, within my soul. Now, what I've been doing is I've been mining and I've been refining and I've been developing, because I know that these infinite treasures are within me. I know that these powers are within me. I know that everything that I need, I know that everything that I want and I desire is inside of me. And I just ask myself, if I just ask the God in me, that he will reveal it to me. I only see good, guys. I don't see this devil that you see. It's an illusion to me. I don't focus on it. I only see good. I only see God in myself and in everyone else. The goodness of the God in me recognizes the goodness of the God in you. Ashe. Until I made a decision, until I made a firm decision. Now, go read Think and Grow Rich. Go read Outwitting the Devil. Go read 3 Magic Words. Go read all of these books that have been out there for years and years that have taught people how to make money and understand the universal laws. This is what it takes, guys. It takes you a firm, definite decision, right? When you have a firm, definite decision, it commands the infinite God power within you to work according to your faith. But you must be definite. You must be definite. If you're not definite, if you're wavering, if you're that double-minded man, unstable in all his ways, it's not going to happen. You must be definite. And here, this is what you don't know. Here's the truth, Aretha. The truth is that the God power within you, it's waiting for you to make a decision. It's waiting on you. It's your Father's pleasure to give you health, to give you wealth, to give you love, to give you happiness, to give you success and prosperity and money. Don't believe me? Angel, they don't believe me? Let's take it to the book. I wish I had one in front of me. But go to Luke 12:32 and see that it says it's your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. The kingdom is within you. He wants to give you understanding of yourself and knowledge of thyself. Seek thee. The greatest power that we have, my angel, the greatest power that we have is the power of choice. I want to share some affirmations with you. I want to share some affirmations with you. These are things that I say. There's a lot. Listen, you ever heard the story of Michael Jackson? Ever hear the story of Michael Jackson? Michael Jackson said from the time that he was a little kid, he wanted to be the #1 pop star in the world. He said he wrote down what he wanted and he made it plain. He said it was on his windows in his mama's lipstick and he read it every day. He said he practiced every day. He worked at it every day. He said he envisioned it through his third eye, through the theater of his mind. He said he understood the power that he had to control his life. Jim Carrey said that he wrote down, when he discovered the power within him, he wrote down the exact amount of money that he wanted to make $20 million in a movie. He wrote a check and he put it in his pocket. We have the power when we make a decision. It takes you to make a decision. Okay, here's some affirmations right here. Let's say this. Let's repeat this out loud. Let's repeat this outside. I'm out loud. There's also a part in the Bible that, if I remember right, it talks about the Spirit telling a certain individual to command you me. Command ye me. Right? I want us to start commanding the infinite within inside of us. I want you to command health year after year, birthday to birthday. I want you to command happiness and love. I want you to understand. I want you to say, I command success and prosperity. Everything I touch becomes successful. I can have all the good that I desire. I want you to command that money that you want in your life. I want you to now command this money. Lots and lots of money. I want you to command that it's drawn into your life. Listen, I'm not saying that you serve money. I'm not saying, somebody's going to tell me that Paul said that the love of money is the root of all evil. But no. The lack of money is the root of all evil. The lack of money, because I've seen people do some strange things when they didn't have any money. Money serves you. Say it. Say, money serves me for all my good purposes. I'm going to share my affirmations with you going forward. I'm going to share. And this is what I believe. This is what I'm putting into the universe. I want for each man and each woman to think himself or herself an act of God. You are an act of God. Your mind, your thought process. This is the life of the breath of God in you. And I want you to try. I want you to try to focus on the great deeds that you're going to do. I want you to focus on the great thoughts that are in your mind that are going to come true. I want you to look inside your mind's eye. And you see this, you can't pull it from the metaphysical to the physical unless you can see it. I want you to start showing people the heaven that you have inside of you. The goodness, the peace, the love, the joy. I want you to start showing it. I want you to say to yourself right now, listen, you don't have to knock down what you don't understand. You don't have to knock down what you don't believe in. Because like I said earlier, the conversation that Javon and I had earlier, I can take this book not from a theological standpoint, but from a psychological standpoint that allows me to put myself in a position of this Christ consciousness, which says to me that I am too, that I can do it now myself. I can tap into that power. I don't care if you think he's real or wasn't real. What is he doing to the people that believe? Don't take someone's hope. Anything that comes to kill, distill, and destroy. Don't kill people's thoughts. Don't kill people's hopes. Don't destroy them. If you don't believe in what someone else believes, keep it to yourself. Never speak ill of anybody else again. That's my promise I made to myself. I'm never going to speak ill of someone else again because I'm guilty of it myself. You see, but I'm not going to beat myself up about what I said or what I did. I'm just going to act and work and look for the goodness in other people and just continue to give out goodness in me. I can sit here right now and I can tell you, I know the Bible. I know the things that have happened. I know the things that have been taken out. I've read the book of Thomas. I've read the book of Judas. I've read the book of Mary. I've read all of these other books that most Christians don't even know exist. But they're books that were taken out of the Bible. It's a proven fact. I've read them and I've had conversations with pastors who've read them too. So you can accept the Christ presence in you also, because what it stands for, what it means, and just if you don't believe it's real or you believe it was thrown on you by your slave masters, this is still a book of psychology that you can put your name into something that's good. I accept the God presence in me. I accept the God power in me. He's waiting for you to make a decision. And now I'm going to go forth in life and let this God presence and let this God power flow out of me as health, and let it flow out of me as happiness, and let it flow as success and prosperity. And I believe that I am the perfect realization and the demonstration of love and joy of God, and He's inside of me, and I thank Him. I thank the God in me. It's made a difference in my life. And once again, I'm not trying to sway anybody else to do something different. I'm just telling you that it's done wonders for me. And I can tell you that if Mr. Schwab was right here next to me, the billionaire that taught me this stuff, I can tell you that he'd tell you the same thing. And I can tell you that the people that are his friends that are billionaires can tell you the same thing. And it's not about being a billionaire. It's just about understanding the God consciousness and the power. How else does a young boy from New York just get up and become one of the all-time greatest financiers of movies in the history of the United States? How does he do it? How do you do it? Listen, guys. The Bible even says, why you keep talking about the Bible, Cecil? Because that's my foundation. Regardless of what I've discovered later, it's what kept me from killing myself. And I can pluck my name out and I can put my name there and I can understand I'm wise enough and intelligent enough because I have the God inside of me. I have the wisdom inside of me and I understand I have the same knowledge because it's in me. And what I don't know, all I have to do is ask, and I have to do is seek, and all I have to do is knock, and it will be revealed to me. If you don't believe that, then it won't be revealed to you. That's all. You have the power of choice. But here, in the book of, one of my favorite books in the Bible is the book of Proverbs. Y'all can say what you want. Them haters out there can say what they want, but I will tell you that book gave me strength many a time, and I wouldn't even be here today. But it says, where there is no vision, the people will perish. Where there's no vision, the people will perish. Look, God has given man, woman, he's given you the power to create this experience by the means of his imagination in you. Therefore, whatever he can see himself being, doing, and having in his imagination, you can do it too. That's the power of the God in me. Y'all don't know. You better ask somebody. You better ask God who he is in you. You better ask him for clarity. You better ask him for truth. I'm telling you, because this has revived me. Oh God, this has revived me. Just tapping back in and understanding and going through the meditation and listening to what is being given to me instead of just sitting back, being selfish, asking for what I want, what I want, what I want, what I want. Say this out loud. Try this, guys. Try this affirmation. The God in me has given me the power to create my experience by means of my imagination. Well, people will say, well, you can't do that. You have to go directly through God. Well, if God is in you, come on. If God is in you already, if you believe and receive that, why are you praying to something outside? This is what I had to say to myself. Why am I praying to something outside when it's right here inside of me? I just need to know myself. I need to know that the kingdom of God is within me. I need to know that when I'm happy and when I'm displaying love and when I'm operating in my talents and I'm giving love and I'm living in prosperity and I'm living in good health and I'm doing the good things and good deeds on this earth, that I'm in heaven. Repeat this, just try it. You're going to see what happens to as you start to build up your self-image. You see, your self-image is what you see, God. It's what you see, it's what you believe. It's the God in you. And however you see yourself is how you see God. If you're taught to believe that you must fear God, you see a fearful God. If you're taught and believe that you have a loving God, well, you see the love of God. Anybody ever hear like that you have the power to create your own world and everything starts in your mind, that you have to see first a crystal clear vision of what it is that you want? Well, what God do you want? Because I made a decision that I don't want to serve that God. I don't want to be a part of that God that I grew up with believing that he's throwing fire and brimstone and all this stuff, and that's the scared God. And that's not, no. If y'all want to do it, then do it. But I believe in a loving God. I believe and I believe that love can never destroy itself. So if it won't destroy itself and he's in me and I'm in he, just like Christ, what am I worried about? You see, is it about getting to the realization? Is it I need for you to say this. I need for you to say, I see myself being. I see myself doing. I see myself having all of the good that I desire right here, right now. And let me tell you about the power of affirmations. Whatever you say to your subconscious mind over and over and over again, there's different reports that say different amounts of days. Some people say 30 days, some people say 10 days, some people say 66 days. Whatever you keep doing over and over again becomes a part of you. We have to be able to visualize. Until you can visualize and see through your third eye, that's the connection to God. Your self-image, ladies and gentlemen, is the key to everything. This is why I look to build people up. See, you have to have a you have to have a great self-image of yourself, because it's a reflection of what you see, think, and be. And it's a reflection of how God operates in your life. And it's a reflection of the expectations that you have of the God within you. Let's say this affirmation right here and right now. I am constructing a positive self-image. Right here and right now, I am constructing a positive self-image. You see, because if you don't know who you are, you can go to every service in the world. You can go to every service. You can speak in every tongue. You can touch every... But what happens when you go back home and you're alone and you don't know how to deal with the pain and the frustration of the divorce, of the abuse, of the alcohol, of the drugs, of the hatred, of all these things that are out there that will bring you back down, and it's connected and it's the true reflection of yourself. You see, because if you don't have this positive self-image, you'll quickly find that those things that you were just doing, they disappear when it's just you one-on-one with that man in the mirror. That's why I believe you have to know thyself. And that's why I believe that God is in me. I and the Father are one. That's what I believe. I believe it down to the bone gristle. I believe it with everything that I love. I believe it to the very fiber and the cellular level. I believe it. And I believe that this is why these things are manifesting in my life. The people that come in my life, I share the stories with you. The people that come, the opportunities that come. I believe it's because of the mindset and the understanding of the power of the God in me. And I don't have to wait. So I don't have to keep running and praying saying, is this it? I don't know. Let me check. Let me wait. All right. Give them a call. Hey, text them. Hey, what? like I don't have to keep doing that, because I understand the power of the God in me. And when you can make a firm decision, that's when you start to see the things start to... That's the step one. Step one is you got to make a decision. But if you want to blame it on some devil, angel, if they want to blame it on the devil, you can't make a choice. Well, I remember presenting an opportunity to this other young lady to actually travel with me. She's very, very talented also. If anybody's seen the ads that I have running around Facebook, you'll see there's a woman next to me in the picture, and that's a picture of an ex. And once again, I try to explain this stuff to people, but religion has such a hold on people. It's like, you'd rather... I'm like, well, if that's what you wanted, and it causes conflict and it causes separation, because I'm like, well, you want to pray to a God in the sky, and I'm saying I want to pray to the God within. I want to believe in the God-given power within me. I want to believe Luke 17:21. I want to believe that the kingdom of heaven is within me. So I was talking to her about this, and she was already having her own little thing and saying this and saying that. And so finally she goes, well, I'm going to pray about it. Let me pray about it, and I'll give you a call back. Well, I never heard back from her, because she doesn't, like, what's going to happen? Like, God is going to come say, he's right, I am within you. Like, what does she do then? Like, oh, I just got an email. I just got a text. You're right, God is within you. Like, how do you argue that? Like, what is your argument? What is a person's argument? I just believe right now I have possession of the most important thing in this world. Helping people to discover the God within them. And I'm going to take this around the world. I have a special way of presenting it. Let me tell you this too. If you don't have the money that you want in your life, I'm sweating. If you don't have the money that you want in your life, if you feel like you're not prospering the way that you believe that you should, you know you're a good person, maybe you're paying tithes, maybe you're reading scripture, maybe you're at every church service. And if that's your thing, that's cool. But I'm going to tell you what works for me. What works for me is the belief that there's no such thing as poverty. I'll say it again. There's no such thing as poverty, Angel. Javon, we had this conversation earlier. I don't believe there's no such thing as poverty. There's only the unawareness of the God within you. Because when the God is within you, when you understand the God is within you, you're not going to second guess yourself. You're going to follow the rules. You're going to write it down and make it plain. You're going to get around the people that can help take you where you need to be. The whole alchemy, right? You're going to understand alchemy. And you're going to live your best life now. You're not going to subscribe to you're like the children of Israel and you must suffer now. You must go through hell on earth to get to heaven, and you're going to pay for heaven on a layaway plan. Oh, I don't subscribe to that. And behind closed doors, the people that know more, supposedly know more than people like you and me, they agree with me. Angel, they agree with me behind closed doors. You have to decide on what it is you want to be. You have to decide on what you can see through your third eye, through your mind's eye, through the theater of your life. If you can't see it in your mind, you're not going to be it. It's not going to happen. If you can't feel it, it's not going to happen. And I don't believe that you can fully feel it without recognizing the God presence in you, the God power within you. Just my belief, based off of my experience, based off of a lot of other people's experience that have mentored me. You see, I had to get to the point where I could open my mind to the guidance of the divine mind. When you can open your mind to the guidance of the divine mind, it doesn't happen from this long distance relationship from someone sitting up in heaven with a bat in one hand and a hell lever in another hand. That's judging you. That's angry with you. I don't see that. I see love. And so if I see love, there's got to be a loving God. I don't see original sin. I see error in our ways. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again here. As people who come from infinite source, as a human in this body right now, think about this. Angel, think about this. Aretha, think about this. You're a parent, and you love your child. You love your nephew. You love your niece. With the love of God, who's inside of you, who made you, created you. You tell your son, Angel, not to come home. We're going to go back in the days. Be home before that street light come on. And if he doesn't listen to you, that's sin. Punishable forever from this all-loving God. So what you do, Angel, would you do this, Angel? Would you go turn the oven on 450? Let it roast? Throw your little son, if he could fit in the oven? Would you throw him in there? Close the door and leave him there forever? No, you wouldn't. I am in he and he is in me. Why would he do that to you? The voice has told me from 5 years old, that's not who I am. When you make that first thing you gotta do, you gotta make a decision. I know, Angel. You gotta make a decision. Second thing you have to do is you have to believe in the God within. Third thing you need to do is you need to see it in your mind's eye. What you want to do. What you want to be. Where you want to go in life. You have to see it. You have to see it play out. It's just like a car, right? I remember when I first graduated to the Mercedes-Benz, right? I actually saw what I wanted to drive. I wanted the big boy. I actually saw what I wanted to drive. I went down to the dealership and I touched the leather. I put my hands around the wheel. I looked at the navigation screen up on the front. I looked at the way the sunroof was. I smelt the leather. I test drove it. I said, this is where I'm going to be. You see, we have to make decisions based off of where we want to be, not where we're at. And please understand, a lot of people say, well, I'll see it when I'll believe it. Wrong. Wrong. Wrong answer. You're going to hell. Wrong answer, right? Here's the real thing, Alicia. When you believe it, that's when you'll see it. It can't be in between devil tantrums. It can't be in between gossiping and speaking ill of someone else. It can't be in between being this double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. When you open up your mind to the guidance of the divine mind, and a lot of people say, well, I didn't start because I don't know where I'm going to end up. But I'm different. You probably heard me say that I see the end first, then I reverse engineer go backwards. Now, I don't see how I'm going to get there, but I see the way. When you have these gifts working for you, they will direct you to what to do. I'm directed to what to do. I've been directed to buy media, to buy television time, to get on television and to spread this truth. and to help empower people, help empower women, help empower men, help show them a higher self-image that can only be seen if you believe that God is in you. Because when God is in you, you start to understand that you're now vicariously living your life through this being that is superior to you, but subservient to you. That's there for your every command when you're focused on goodness. And some people say, let me just say this because it just came to my mind, but I have to sit back and wait on God. And I said this myself. I have to switch up my prayer a little bit. I got to make some tweaks to this. Because we have the power of free will. So if you sit back and... That's another lesson. I'm about to get real deep there. That's another one. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm inviting you out. I'm welcoming you and opening my hands to maybe something. It's of God. Remember the prophecy that was given to me by this man who I know is a man of God. And he told me this 15, 18 years ago, and I couldn't see it. But he said, what you have is of God. He said, what you have is of the church. And when I say church, I mean people. When I say temple, I mean people. He said, but it's not in the church. The voice said to me, it's not in the church. But the church, the people, will come to you. I'm speaking to your spirit right now. And it knows the truth when it hears it. It knows. Especially if you already know that there's a God in you. You see, we don't get what we want because we don't know what we want. We don't know what we want because we don't know who we are. We don't know who God is because we don't know who we are. And we don't know who we are because we don't know that God is inside of us. Thank you, God in me. Thank you for this revelation, God in me. Thank you for this revelation, for this God in me. Just open up some accounts today for the ministry. I'm going to be doing some negotiations to buy media time, to buy airtime. Going to not only help women with their business, but we're going to raise high self-esteem and the self-image of yourself, which only comes, your strength only comes from knowing that He's within you. It only comes from knowing that God is within you. I am He, and He in me. A lot of people quote it, but they're not living it. And you can tell who's living it and who's not living in it by the strength that they have, by the decisions that they can make, by how far they'll go with something, by their persistence. It's not about the talent. Remember what we said about talent. Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men and women with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone and understanding the God in you are omnipotent. Somebody say, thank you to the God in me. And I'm going to continue as I'm going down my journey of more self-discovery. This is actually taking me back, Aretha, this is actually taking me back again to the Bible. The very thing that was forced upon me from a 5-year-old. The very thing that I associated with hatred. And let me tell you this, for a long time people have been saying, brother, you got this gift inside of you. You're supposed to be leading people. You're supposed to be guiding people in a manner of such. And I would say because of because of what I associated that person up there with. I said, that will never be me. And you have to understand that it's the same way that we use association, the same way that we use our fears, and the same way that we use our hurt that will stop us from walking in our greatness, the same way that our ego will stop us from what we're supposed to do. Now, as I look back and I see all the things that have happened in my life, and I see the people who've been in it, and I've seen the things that were prophesied on my life, or even from being a billionaire. And let me say this, when I talk about being a billionaire, it's not just to be a billionaire. It's to be able to give back to this world. You hear me, Alicia? It's to be able to give back to this world. You hear me, Aretha? It's to be able to give the way that I want to give, to bring notice the way that I want to bring notice. It's a way to show that when you understand the power, and I really believe that even though I thought I would become a billionaire, I believe that if this didn't happen to me, but it had to happen. This discovery had to happen. Yesterday had to happen. Last week had to happen. People going against me had to happen. People lying on me had to happen. People taking half-truths and half-stories had to happen. It had to happen for this to come through. My mother beating the shit out of me had to happen. Me running away, me being in boys' homes, me trying to kill, it had to happen. You can no longer live in the past. Yeah, he kept that check for 5 years. You can no longer live in the past. You can no longer live in things that aren't working for you. You can no longer continue. Well, you can. Actually, I'm not going to say no longer. You can, and many people will. Many people will. But I refuse. I watched my grandmother die, believing the same old stuff. I watched my great-grandmother die, believing the same old stuff. I'm watching my mother lose her vision to diabetes because she don't even want to go to the doctors, Aretha, because she said Jesus gonna heal her. So I'm now preparing for what might be the inevitable. This is deep, y'all. This is deep. This is deep, and there's got to be bondages that need to be, there's bondages that need to be broken. So I'm going to continue to teach what's been taught to me. Yeah, Javon, I see you. I see you. And here's the thing, I never wanted to do this. I've run from this all my life. All my life. But I guess I had to run. Because if I couldn't run, there wouldn't be the opportunity to come back home. And I'm back home, y'all. Walking what I'm walking in. Walking in truth, and more importantly, walking in love. And I believe that love is the strongest force in this world. And I believe that, you guys see how Joyce Meyer goes around from place to place and they fill out places. Well, we're going to do that too. I'm going to give back like you've never seen people give back. My real estate background allows me to get land, build institutions, build assisted living places, build places for children, for another dream that I have called Chances. It's the center of healing for abused and neglected children emotionally scarred. To build those centers. I know that I'm doing this because it's my calling. It's nothing that I just wanted to do. I never wanted to pimp nobody, try to pimp no people. But I can't run from it anymore. It spills out of me and I'm happiest when I'm doing it. Hopefully that transfers and you can see it, that that's my calling. And what I want to help you do is discover your calling, because that's one of my gifts. I want to help you raise your self-esteem. I want to help you set that business up. I want to help you know that all things are possible when you believe the God within you. And with that being said, what I'd like to do right now is I really would like to maybe even we do it. I like to even hear from some other people that are witnessing this, that are watching this, because I'm going through a metamorphosis. I'm in my cocoon. This is coming to my mind right now. Greater is He that is where? In me. In me. Than he that is in the world. You see, I have another understanding of that. I'm going to share that later. I love to hear from somebody. Let me get some feedback. There's some people that are going to be a part of this with me. Some people who are already with me. There's some people that are going to grow in ways that they've never understood. There's some people that are going to tap into the greatness and understand the 6 degrees of separation and understand the whole laws of alchemy and understand what this is really all about and what the bait is versus what the meat is. And give me a call, somebody. 313-926-1781. I'll put it up here right now. No, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. I got a lot of phone numbers. Not the first one, guys. I can't answer that because I got a live going on that one right now. But this one right here. 313-926-1781. If you know me, call me. If you don't know me and you want to know me, call me. But I love to, seriously, I just love to hear some feedback. What do you feel? Do you believe that there's a God in you? What are your old thoughts? See, this is the renewing of the mind here, right? Talk about renewing the mind, right? All right. If you'd like to call in, 313-926-1781. I'd love to hear from you. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Here's another thing. When you start attracting this success and this prosperity and this money that you want, never be afraid. Never be ashamed of it. You're worth it. You're worth it. Hello. Hello, you're on with Cecil. Hello. State your name. Can you hear me? State your name and where you are.
Hello, Cecil. This is
Hey,
Lynette.
Lynette, how are you?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
You know, on July 20th, my name is Lynette Johnson. I'm on live with you right now.
Yeah.
And I'm in Flint, Michigan. How are you?
I'm great, Lynette. I'm great. I think I can hear something repeating after I already talked.
I'm gonna step out away from the computer. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Is this better?
Yes.
I was listening to you. I am so overwhelmed because I know I was drawn to you. I meant to listen to you. But on July the 28th, I wanted to share this with you. I have been poisoned by the Flint Water Department, and I'm okay. But on July the 28th, the court just gave us the right to sue the state. And these are the things I was telling you when I talked to you earlier on my other previous conversation. I'm constantly being held back, but it's like God has given me all this information to free myself to move forward. And I'm just so excited because I know that He was showing me things, and I kept saying to God, why are you showing me these things and I can't do anything about them? But I know that the visions were there and the things that I was seeing. And it's like, I'm just overwhelmed. I'm speechless. This just happened July the 28th, along with what I mentioned to you in the previous conversation when I talked to you on the phone about my condition. And I'm just so excited because it's like I can fly now. And he's just giving me all the ammunition I need to fly. And when I ran into you being an entrepreneur and starting your business, it's just like it's all coming together. And I'm just so excited that I ran into you and connected with you. And you just lighten up a fire in me. That's all I can say. I am so ready.
Wow, thank you.
I can't believe it. I'm overwhelmed because I didn't know who I was going to talk to, what I was going to do, but the things that God was revealing to me in my spirit, I couldn't ignore. So I just was like, okay, God, I'm going to just keep moving until you show me when. And I connected with you, and the rest is history.
Wow, that's
Isn't
awesome.
that something?
Yes, that's awesome.
He doesn't make mistakes. And it's not by chance that we connected. I didn't accept your email previously, and I never forgot you, and I was drawn back to reconnect, and that's how we connected now. So you see what I'm saying? The forces or the energy and the vibration kept pulling us together before. And I'm like, now here we are.
Wow, absolutely.
I know. Isn't that something?
Yes.
I am so ready. I don't want to work for no one else again. And what it is about being on the internet and being pretty vague. God has empowered me in such a way spiritually where I'm telling you there is no stopping me. There is no stopping me. And now I hear you and I see you. I'm going to join the women's business with you, and I am so ready to fly.
All
That's
right,
all
that's
I can
awesome.
say. I'm telling you.
That's awesome.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
And so I just wanted to share that with you and call in. I'm sitting here listening to you, and I'm like, wow. And it's just amazing how we have so much in common, but that's spiritual talking right there. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's all self-explanatory. The spirit doesn't make mistakes.
That's true. That's so true.
I'm like, always wanted to open up a daycare. My mother is in assisted living, and I'm in assisted living watching her and also taking notes how they running things. See, this is how I'm thinking.
Wow.
I know. I'm sitting there like, okay, I'm seeing what they're doing for her, but I'm taking notes. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Or I'm going to improve this. I'm getting firsthand information. I'm telling you. Isn't that awesome?
Yes.
So when you come down here in Flint, you just be sure to call me, and I tell you, we're going to get together and we're going to talk.
Okay. All right. I look forward to that.
I'm ready.
I look forward to that.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for calling. I appreciate you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. When I tell you that there's no greater feeling in the world, than to be able to inspire someone else, lift up their self-image, remind them, and Lynette already knows the power of God in her anyway, but to remind people who they really are. I can't wait to take this on the road, y'all. Sometimes I'm just overwhelmed because I know my own view of what I'm doing right now, and it was like I could never even see myself doing this, but I'm here, and I know my gift to inspire. By showing people that like God is in you. Man, this is wow, I just feel I'm humbled. Right? Yes. Javon, come on, give me a call. I see you said you'd call, but Lynette was already on the line. Give me a call, 313-926-1781. It's amazing how God works when you tap into understanding the power that you have. All the excuses are gone, and you can't blame anyone else. You can't blame a devil. You can't blame Trump. You can't blame mama, daddy, sister. And I've been a victim of that all my life. Blaming other people and stifling my own power and expecting something outside of me, a force outside of me. And it's never happened. Now I can say, some people say, well, I can feel this and I can feel that, but I understand also how the subconscious mind works, and I understand that you can feel and see things that you believe, but when you tap into this, or how about this, when I tapped into this power, I can't see myself ever going back to the way I used to do it. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Yes, anybody want to call in? I'd love to hear from someone else. 313-926-1781. Once again, 323-926-1781. Let's talk, family. Wow. Hey there, you're on the air with Love Jones. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Uh-oh. From Texas.
Uh-oh. We done started something.
I really didn't want to say a lot. I just wanted to say that it's time for us to step into the impossible, to reach the unreachable, to teach to teach the teachable, and to give our people our story. And our story is where our glory lies. And it's time for us to go and reach those people who are dependent on our stories, who are dependent on, our glory. We have, it's time to, just break forth, to believe in yourself, to know who you are, to remember who you are. And who are you? You are greatness, and, that's all I really wanted to say. I'm so inspired. I am ignited. I am excited. And I am, ready to impact. I am ready to walk in love. I am ready to heal the blinded. I am ready for the sick to be healed. I'm ready for the world to be impacted by the love that I have to offer, and I'm just, again, like the young lady said before, I'm blessed for this opportunity. I am excited for this opportunity because I know that it is my calling, it is my purpose to spread the love and the joy that I have. And you were speaking about abuse earlier, and by those stripes of abuse, we are healed. And I know it might sound strange that healing, you can find so much healing in pain, but it's just you have to look at it again. Sometimes victory comes disguised as pain, and we have to just press our way through pain and find the glory in the story and the test, so that's all I pretty much wanted to say.
Okay, well listen, I appreciate you, but I want you to do one more thing for me.
What?
I want you to just give a glimpse of what you felt and what we talked about this morning and what it did to you, and just just a glimpse of that.
I felt destiny. I felt like I was in the right place at the right time. I felt my now moment being ignited. I felt I felt a spiritual connection. I felt destiny, basically. I felt this is my time. My time is now. And I'm looking forward to working with you and all of the other beautiful women. It's our time. Our time is now. The opportunity is here, and I'm ready to take advantage of it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what this is all about. And this thing is going to catch fire because, like I said, I'm even coming from. Uh-oh, what happened? Hold on one sec. I lost my Facebook. Okay, there it goes. I'm even coming from a different direction than what I was a month ago or 2 months ago. And I just feel like I have this thing, this company, Pieces of a Dream, and I just feel like the pieces are just being matched up, and it's like the puzzle is being completed, and I can see, the people that will be with me from the foundation, and then for God to just put it on me, you got to go on TV. You know what I mean? You got to go on TV. And I'm just ready, and it's not even a point of me believing. I know what's about to happen. You know what I mean? And I'm humbled, and just feeling blessed right now because I understand, fully understand, this power inside of me, this God inside of me, and nobody else, and who can stop me?
Right. And you don't need permission. No permission needed. It's time. And I just would like to thank you for answering the call. Thank you for seeing a God in you. Thank you for seeing a God in me and all these other beautiful women that you are helping, because many men see women and they don't try to look at the God. They see our flesh. They don't see past what we have to offer, with our physical. Yes, we are all beautiful, and we are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are unique in our own right, but a lot of men can't see past the flesh and want to build you up and empower you. A lot of men probably, like you told me earlier, I can give you a fish and you will eat today, but if I teach you how to fish and you catch them, then you will eat forever. Right. So that's that gets my attention, because I'm about, okay, don't just give me something, teach me how to give to myself and others. Give me something that I can take what you give me and multiply it. Just like when Peter went out in the boat and he cast the net out, and he kind of got discouraged because he wasn't catching fish, but he told him go out deeper. And that's what time it is. This fight, your labor will not be in vain. It will not be in vain. You will see the thousands of people. The rooms will be filled. It is so. It's already done. All we have to do is believe. It's already done. And it starts in the mind. It starts in the mind. You speak it, you see it, and you seek it. You said, I've learned so much. I'm just so overwhelmed. I'm excited. I know y'all can tell by the sound of my voice. I'm just so ready to go out into the deep and get the people who I'm supposed to get, reach the people who I'm supposed to reach, because the world needs love. The world is hurting. The world is dying, and they are in need of a savior, but they don't know that they are their own savior. And I will be their voice. I will be that person to let them know, you are your own savior. Seek you first. It all starts with you. So I'm excited, and I'm definitely I'm on board. I'm ready. Seeing me, I go. That's how I feel about it.
All right then. All right. I look forward to. I see so much talent in you. And as we talked about earlier, it's about us dropping our ego. That's something that we all have, and it rears itself up, from time to time. But once again, there's so much more good in us, and that's what we have to look for in other people, is the good inside of them, the love inside of them. And I believe that when that is the focus of what you're doing, what we're doing here, that anything else that wasn't supposed to be there is going to fall off anyway.
Yes, because God always only sees the best in us.
Right.
Period, point blank. He only sees the best. He see however you identify with God. They only see the best in you. So anything outside of the best or anything outside of good is not of God. The only thing that's real is love. So if you identify yourself with anything else besides love, then you're not in it. You're not tapping into that God power.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, thank you for calling in. I appreciate you, and it's a lot of work to be done. And like I said, right now I'm shopping for TV time. I'm gonna start out here in Detroit, but as this thing continues to build, I've taken care of the business side of it now. Now it's just about getting myself together. I got the book done in a day. The portion of it that needs to be done right now, I'm going to continue to build on that. I just feel unstoppable now.
You are. You are very unstoppable, and keep going. Keep going. You're doing a great work, and don't you calm down yet. Don't calm down for nothing. Because people need you. People like me. We need you, and I know a lot of people are afraid when people say stuff like I need you, but it's not a codependent type of need. It's a need, it's a spiritual need. It's a awakening that needs to happen throughout the earth, and it's people like us that are forerunners of that awakening, and people need to hear what we have to say. So I'm excited, like I said before, and I look so forward to working with you guys, and I will keep on talking and keep on going because I have so much to say all the time, but I will just stop here and just, like I said, thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you, beautiful women, for your voice, for your words. Like, we are powerful, and we don't need permission to be powerful. We don't have to ask to be powerful, we just be. So that's all I have to say. And thank you guys for listening.
All right. Thanks for calling. I appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I want to take one more call. I'd just like to hear just perspectives of what you think, what you feel, what you may have thought before, and if what I said today, if it resonated with you in a good, positive way, or in a way that you don't agree with. I oftentimes love to hear. I don't want everyone's not going to be on board with me, but I like the opportunity even for the naysayers. I love when I talk to naysayers. Like, how do you go against this truth? I don't get it. But anyway, one more call. Please feel free to call in 313-926-1781. 313-926-1781. All right. With that being said, I just laid out a whole lot on the line, and I'm going to be looking for buildings in different cities and different states. So I have a vision. I know where I want to take this. So this is where the real estate does come into play also. Land, buildings, putting institutions, building institutions, redeveloping institutions, assisted living, apartment buildings, business, consulting, all this stuff that just goes hand in hand. Entrepreneurship, women's lyceum. It's just time. Okay. Lots of vacant building. Okay, we're gonna come out there to Flint. And then even the women that are with me, it's like people can have different buildings that they run. Remember, we have the nonprofit. The nonprofit can get buildings for $1. You know what I mean? Get funding from the economic and community development. I told you, people say I'm crazy, but yeah, I'm crazy like a fox because I'm playing chess. I'm not playing checkers, and I'm thinking 5 and 6 moves down the line, 10 moves down the line, and I've been lining this up. And the real estate, the making money, that's just the bait. That's just what I put on the hook. But once they come inside, you're gonna find out that this is so much more than just money. So much more. This is it's God. It's infinite intelligence. It's God in you. Anybody gonna call me? No call? Okay, I'm feeling that because here's the thing with real estate: when everybody else runs away, that's when I go in. All right, so if everybody's running because of that lead stuff's not gonna be there forever. They'll eventually get it right. And then when the town starts to come back, just like Detroit right now, right? It's coming back. Everybody's trying to get back in now. It's driving the prices up. So many things that we bring to the table, ladies. I'm telling you, so many things. One more call. Nobody call. Hey, one more call. 313-926-1781. Just want to hear one more call. Never wait for somebody else to do what you should do. 313-926-1781. We're not waiting around on what we think other people should do. We have full control.
over our lives, full control over our destinies, full control over how we want to live, what we want to do, where we want to go. And as long as your focus is on good, you can have anything that you want. Anything. Yeah, I know the Warren Buffett saying. Somebody I've studied for a long time too. You know? So, all right, then listen, I'm gonna wrap this up here then, and I need to get some food, some libation. Right? So, I'm ready, guys. I'm just gonna fight, and it's not even a fight; it's a walk in the park, really, because no one can stop me. Who's gonna stop me? Not that other guy that everybody gives honorable mention to. Not gonna happen here. One source, one goodness. Right? All right, so that's it. It's about 8:03 right now. A little bit thirsty, a whole lot hungry, and for those reasons, I'm out. If you didn't get a chance to say something, leave your remarks, leave your comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you feel. Let me know if you think it's real. Let me know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Let me know. All right? Look forward to talking to you soon. Catch me tomorrow morning at about 8 for the gym walk, real talk. Got some more stuff, more to say. All right? Talk to you later.